Howdy all and welcome back to the channel. Just want to say hi to all my new subscribers. It's great to have you here, and thanks to all my subscribers that are liking and sharing and commenting on my videos and sharing it with all their family and friends. It's really helping my channel grow, and when I get to the 10,000 subscribers I shall be doing a giveaway, so I'm very appreciative of all my new subscribers. It's great to have you here. Anyway, on to today's video. I will be doing a review of the game Tamarin, or Tamarin. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, carrying on. Sorry I've been a bit slow getting this review out to people, but I've had a lot on my plate at the moment, and I've been trying to make sure I can get a good sense for the whole game as a whole, to give everybody a good overview of everything in the game, because it's a brand new game, first ever game from this indie developer called Chameleon Games, and I've talked to them a bit on Twitter, and they do seem like a friendly bunch, and I want to do the game justice for what it is, but I don't want to be giving out any false opinions. I want to be, truthful to how I feel with the game. So, without further ado, let's talk about some areas of the game. The game is pretty much split into two play styles, and it's like these large hub worlds where you then can go into like warehouses or sewers, which are unlocked via certain collectibles of flies, where you need to put them into like these pillars, and then you can open certain areas of the game, which are these levels, which are like the warehouses, where you need to go in there, kill all the bad guys off in like shooting areas. You switch from one play style, which is like purely platforming and collectathon, or speed time trials to make sure you get to a certain place and this type of stuff. And then in the warehousey sewer areas, they're like these shooting things, a little bit like, you could call them areas levels, I suppose. And there's like the normal little anti-looking things that you're shooting, which look like the game from the film ends. And you've got these weird things also where they're like almost Space Invader planes, where you've got to shoot all the things to open a door. You'll see what I mean because it's on the video, but yeah, that's how these little areas work. But basically, some of these areas are quite sparse and there's not a grand deal going on in there. And I sometimes can see that the controls for shooting can get a little bit murky, because you've got to, in order to lock on and aim at things, you need to be holding down L2, and then it kind of changes the movement from the left thumbstick to being the aiming with the left thumbstick, so then you get stuck in a place. So then you need to quickly release L2 to move quickly out of the way and then aim again. So it can take quite a bit of getting used to. And the one little bugbear with this is that you then fall back to a hub world, which is all platforming, and then you go back to another shooting area, and it's like, oh, I'm back to that play style again. And it takes quite a bit of getting used to. That's all I'll say with that. Some of the camera angles can be very dodgy. Like, it's like, and then you'll be platforming and you'll miss by what looks like a pixel, and you'll fall, and it's like, well, but with that to the side, 99% of the platforming is pretty good. It sometimes comes down to the camera angles being a bit dodgy, so that's, that can be put up with. You don't really need to worry too much about that. So the one biggest issue that I've got with the game, the hub world areas where you're going from the level to level, is there's no map and there's no waypoints. You can't put a waypoint down and say, right, I need to go back there. So you'll go to where you need to go to collect some of the bits and pieces to then open a new area of the map, and you'll be like, right, where did I need to go to get back to that area? I haven't a clue. I've been to sleep since then. And then you're wandering around for half an hour trying to find some random passageway to get back to some random pillar to open a door to another sewer or warehouse, and you've just burnt 30 minutes of aimlessly wandering around. admittedly in that time you could have done a couple of collectibles, and you could have got some bits and pieces, and you could have maybe done a puzzle or two in the areas and figured all of the stuff out within a hub world. But your main aim is you want to get back to point B over there, and you've got a clue of really how to do it. I kind of completed level 1 a dozen times trying to figure out back how to get to another area of the world between each of the hub worlds, because there's no teleportation in the game. You can't just go, right, I want to go back to hub world 3 and open up a menu, press hub world 3 and go there. You have to navigate all the way back from level area 1 all the way back through 2, and and it's a bit, I won't say it's disjointed at all, I'd just say it's difficult to navigate around in that sense of the matter. There's a couple of frame rate issues, but nothing drastic. It's nothing I can really go, but and then, like I say, in some of the areas it's very bland and blank and there's nothing going on, which is just a bit okay. And like I say, it's a bit bland in places. That's basically what I'm saying. It's a bit bland in places, but I mean the cute, colourful graphics and the nice characters, and if you're reading the story along with it, it's actually really nice, and you can't help but love the little character. He's so cool, and as I said, the graphics are really good, and all the different play styles are not too bad, and it's split up like the game. And I mean, as I said, it took me quite a good chunk of time to get used to being switching from one play style to the other, and yeah. So that's that part in a nutshell. Really, it's just it tends to feel a little bit repetitive. Then later on, it's like, oh, I'm in another server or warehouse area. I know exactly what I've got to do again. I know I need to do this to open that door, this to open that door, run around here, make sure I kill all these ant-looking things, save my little body, and exit the thing. And fine, they progressively get harder, but there's no variety in what you need to do between all of these hub worlds. Sorry, not hub worlds. Well, the hub worlds as well is very similar actually, but the main sewer areas or warehouse areas where you go into to go and save your family. Yeah, like the first one you do is really easy, but the principle of how you do it doesn't change through the whole entire game. So it's a bit repetitive in that nature. You've got the platforming and collecting is good, and the timed parts are good. Chunks of the game you can't unlock until you get certain abilities, like being able to use springboards, or being able to use invincibility, or you get different weapons and such as you go through the game, and then you can shoot certain doors to unlock them instead on certain areas, or you can shoot baddies quicker and kill them off quicker, and these type of things. But all in all, I do enjoy this game. I have really enjoyed it. It's just that there's quite a lot of little bugbears which I keep going back to, and I'm thinking to myself, would I pick this up over the brand new Crash Bandicoot that's coming out in a few days' time? No. Would I pick this up over even another platformer like Super Lucky's Tale you can pick up quite cheap now on all consoles, and that's an amazing game. But the biggest thing with this is I like the fact that they're trying to mix two play styles together, and there's a lot of creativity they're trying to push for, and it has a really lovely, charming vibe to it, and the music's great, the graphics are pretty much spot on. There's a couple of bits in the graphics where I thought, well, that looks a bit dated, but then I have to remember I'm playing it on a PS4, which is, donkey's years old, and I've been looking at so much next gen stuff for the newer consoles that some of the older console games are looking a bit dated now, so I can't really hold that against the game. But I mean, things like the controls being a little bit annoying and taking a lot of time to get used to, and the repetitive nature of some areas of the game. That's just how it is. And my biggest thing with this is, like, I wouldn't be picking this up over a lot of other games out there, and you've got that issue because there's so much competition. And one of the biggest things I wanted to highlight with this is because it is a brand new indie game from one studio, and I think the ambitious challenge that they've taken on here to try and build a game with absolutely, top quality graphics and beautiful characters and a good story and platforming areas mixed with shooting areas, I think they've actually done a very good job. And a couple of these little bugbears that I have are probably just because it's a brand new game. You could see them making, say, a sequel to this, and there being a lot more changes with the variety and of the level design and such. But I, as I said, I have really enjoyed the game. I can't really fault it to that extent. It's not like I've turned it on and it's been absolute trash from beginning to end, because it's not. But it's not Mario, so how do you sell it to people? That's the difficulty that some of these games like this have. Like, how do you stand out from the crowd to make sure people can see the game is good? And I've read some people's reviews and they've really slated it, and it's like, no, it does not deserve to get 3s out of 10. It really doesn't. It deserves to have some form of credit for how good it is for a studio's first game. And the little issues are bearable and you can put up with it, and the story's nice. The main problem with the story is there's no voiceovers, so you have to read all of the text. That's neither here or there. It's a cost-saving measure, I would have thought, to make sure that you're not needing to, pay voice actors, which is fine from an indie studio. But, whatever. Like I said, the music's great, the graphics are lovely, and the play styles, after you get used to them, are all perfectly fine. The biggest issue for me was the fact that there's no map and no waypoints, so I'm wandering around aimlessly, but, you get that with AAA games, so it can be a bit unforgiving in that sense of the realm. But overall, I have enjoyed this game, and I want it to do well because, it's an indie game's first studio, and credit where credit's due. They've made a very good game, and, it's a solid 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10, I would say. It's on a par with some of those ones from years ago that got missed, and people now look at 5-6 years later and like, wow, how did I miss this? And I like it. I do like it a lot. I just, like I say, I don't think I can say buy this and not Crash Bandicoot 4, because no way. That looks amazing, and I will be getting that straight away. But if you're a person who really, really likes collectathon games with a little bit of shooting thrown into the mix, and you've played you've gone through the Marios and the Donkey Kongs, and you've finished things like Super Lucky's Tale and that, and you're looking for something new just to play and unwind with, it's great for that. It really is. What I would say is it's not for kids. Ain't you shooting loads of aliens or not aliens? They're a load of ants all the time. There's a lot of shooting in it, and without a map and waypoint, a kid's going to get more frustrated than I did. So, there is that. So I have enjoyed the game. And I don't want to put people off on buying it. I want to encourage people to buy it more, actually, because those little faults that I've mentioned is neither here or there, and they might get patched or something. And as a whole, the game is good. So that's what I want people to take away from this. Is it amazing? No. Is it good? Yes. Is it dire? No. It's an all-round good game. 6.5 out of 10 is what I'd give it. A bonus bit for being an indie studio's first game, which, I'd like to give credit to people who've made a good game when they're an indie studio. That's going to do it for my review for Tamarin. I'd take away from my review with this that if you see this on sale at 50% off or 40% off or something, definitely buy it. If you're curious about it, it's definitely worth picking up. But don't turn it away or discredit it too much for it not being, you know, the great Mario or Crash, because you can't expect that from an indie studio straight away. I personally feel, and I believe that if this game does do well, we might even get a sequel. You know, that'd be cool. So anyway, that's going to do it for my video today. I hope everybody's well and I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm hoping to do a little Nintendo video later from the Direct as well, so I'll probably try and get that up either today or tomorrow. I do have some other bits going on today. So yeah, I hope everybody has a good weekend. If you liked this review, please drop some comments down below and hit me a like. And if you're new around here, as I say, I'm going to be doing a giveaway when I hit 10,000 subscribers. So please subscribe and share my channel around. Thank you very much and goodbye.